Hi there, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the FDU Softball Report right here exclusively on FDUnights.com. Jon Lauder, along with the head coach of the FDU Softball program, Candi Letts. Coach, how are you?
Good, Jonathan. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. So, got a bunch of games to review. You played Columbia last week, then you had the two NEC doubleheaders this past weekend, one on the road, one at home, and then you just had the doubleheader against Manhattan as well. 8 games, some good performances, some performances that maybe weren't so good. Just, give me some general thoughts on, the 4 doubleheaders that you've had since we last spoke.
Columbia, we didn't play our best ball, according to the score, especially the first game. The second game was in our reach, and we came up a little short, but we played better. We improved from the first game to the second game, and we're just trying to get game time experience with our team, getting used to one another, and you could see that we were working towards that. And then our doubleheader at Bryant, we put together some good games, and the first game especially, and Megan pitched really well. We had enough offense. Cheryl had a great double, timely hit to push across the 2 runs to win that game. Played really good defense. Next game, we just struggled a little bit. Megan was hit, but she's good to go now. But we still need to improve. And then we brought those games into Sunday. St. Francis was playing very, very hot. We let the first game get a little too far ahead, but we made an outstanding comeback. Just came up short. But overall, we played better as we got going. In the second game, we got a big lead. We were hitting the ball well, and we got good pitching out of Lauren Stavro that game. And we're just starting to. We're now starting to hit our stride a little bit. We're starting to get used to playing next to each other on a field, outdoors on our own field. So we've only been on our field for like 5 times. So we're getting better in that aspect. And then last night against Manhattan, we hit the ball well. I mean, we have been hitting the ball well. And we just let the second game get a little bit out of hand. But we're trying some new things, trying to get our youth on the field to get more experience. So sometimes losses aren't always bad if you look at the bigger picture. Sure.
Now, specifically at Lauren Stavro in that first game against Manhattan, really pitched well. Seems like she's coming along. What have you seen from her in the last couple of games?
The last couple of games, I mean, she had some good wins against St. Francis, who's a good team. So Lauren's starting to get her confidence back, and you can see it on the field, and she's having fun with it. That was huge. Manhattan is a big swinging team, and they beat some really good teams this year. So for Lauren to shut them out and for us to give her the defense and the hitting behind, that's what we need to do every day. Now, is it always going to go that way? No, not always, but she's keeping us in the ball game.
Now that St. Francis doubleheader, 8-6-9-7. Have you seen a lot of softball games like those?
No, I haven't been in a lot like those, and they're a little bit nerve-wracking, but at the same time, softball in general, if you're looking at scores across the country, NCAA, there's games 20-3, 18-0, and it's crazy right now. But I like where our team is at the plate. I mean, we had 22 games total in the games against St. Francis. I mean, we're hitting the ball well. We just need to continue to do so.
And you mentioned that hitting. Courtney Slice had 3 home runs just recently. She's coming along. Obviously, Maddie Weiland, Maddie Lerma. It seems like the team as a whole, as a lineup, has really been productive.
Yeah, and I think it's just getting repetition in games and knowing where we are in our lineup, getting used to who's behind us, who's ahead of us. On defense, getting used to just playing every day with each other on our field where we can practice has really helped this team, and we're starting to get on stride a little bit.
Now you've got Mount St. Mary's coming up. Obviously another conference opponent. Wins are critical. Some thoughts on what you expect to see from them?
That's their senior day. I guess we drew their senior day for them, and they're going to compete, and that's what they've done. Now, their wins, you can't look at their wins or their losses in conference because they're potentially very, very difficult to play. They're a good team. They hit the ball well. They've had a lot of success the last couple of years. So we have to just do our thing, focus on what we do well, and bring the best game we can to Mount St. Mary's.
Now, you've only got 6 conference games left. How's the team feeling right now? You guys are 5-5 in conference, so obviously right at 500, still certainly in the thick of it. How do you think the team's feeling with 6 games left?
I think right now they're feeling much better than they did 2 weeks ago. I think they are feeling them starting to hit stride a little bit, and I could see that in just their everyday play now from 2 weeks ago to now, where it's a big difference. And as long as we come and we're mentally focused on the things that we need to do, we can compete with anybody.
All right, Coach, thanks so much, and as always, good luck.
Thank you very much, Jonathan.
All right, so the Knights will be on the road against Mount St. Mary's this weekend. Then next week, they've got a midweek with St. Peter's, then plenty more NEC games coming up. 2 doubleheaders at home. We'll talk more about that next week as well. And FDUnights.com, that's the place to be for all your news, stats, info, and so much more on the FDU softball program.